Good morning, traders. This is Trader Rob, and as promised in yesterday's video, I am going to be kind of demoing here Robert Anderson's trading bot that he just recently came out with, and I've got it fully installed in NinjaTrader. It's up on the screen. So after the intro, I'll kind of give you guys a little bit of background on what we're looking at and how I'm going to be trading it. All right, we're back. As always, nothing that I say is financial advice. I'm here. This is strictly for entertainment purposes. We're here to learn, and I'm here to help you guys learn what I have learned out through my 3-year journey in trading. And I'm pretty excited to share Robert Anderson's Goldline Autobot Trader. I installed it on my NinjaTrader. It was in the beginning. You know, I know he had some issues. If you guys follow his channel, I'll see if I can link his channel below. The guy's awesome. Huge shout out to him. You know, just super down to earth kind of guy. And I know that as he mentions in his videos, he's maybe not the most tech savvy person in the world, but what really matters is that I think what he produced is pretty awesome. So it is 8:29 Central Time. Market's going to open here in a minute. I do trade the futures. On the screen, on the left-hand side, I've got oil. In the middle, I got the RTY. And on the right side, I have the NASDAQ. So he's pretty big right now on oil and the Russell as far as what he has been back testing with the system. It's been working pretty well. I mentioned yesterday in my video that I was going to probably be only trading this on the sim, but like always, you know, I am actually going to be trading oil and the RTY on my Top Step account. This is not a funded account. This is an evaluation account. I wouldn't trade this in my funded account yet. And on the right, on the NASDAQ, I just have it on the sim. So that's kind of the setup of what you're seeing on the screen. If you do see me kind of veering off a little bit, it's mainly because I'm trading. I'm also trading on another screen below. So I'm really looking at an oil setup that's happening this morning, and I'll go over in depth with that. The RTY just ripped. The Russell just ripped this morning. And then if I don't get into this oil trade here, well, I got a few minutes. So I'll explain to you guys what you guys are kind of looking at here. I'm not going to go through all of these lines yet. I'm probably going to make a detailed video on what exactly you're seeing. But I'll let you guys see some of the settings that we're looking at. And I mean, I know I'm gonna have to take this off. So let me disable this. So I won't be taking any trades in the NASDAQ while I'm showing you this, but that's okay. Like I said, this is the one I'm on sim. All right, so what we're looking at is, this is the system strategy. I do have it loaded with the NQ one that Robert Anderson sent. He sent a template for like all of the major indices. So this is the one specific for the NQ. So it adjusts like your stops and your trails and stuff like that, which I think is pretty cool. So default, one contract. He's got 3 trades here. The 1-minute gold line. And for those of you that don't know what I'm talking about with the 1 minute or the 5 minute, or the 5 minute red line, you can go onto his site. He's a creator of this strategy. He obviously teaches it really well. I'll go in depth on another video, but pretty much you can set different contracts for different one of his EMA hits. So like obviously default is 1 on all of these for mine, but you can change it with this cool. The target ticks and the stop loss, that is also set by the template. There's a default that it comes with set to, but you can obviously change that. Does have a trail stop. He's got a swing trail, so you'll see there is a swing trail once you're in a trade. So he's big on risk, minimizing risk, which I like. So far yesterday, just from what I saw, you do get knocked out of some trades, but again, it also helped you on a few trades where it kind of went against you. So, and you can set your times. He's got it. I left these all as default. So in my opinion, he's got here this particular trade, which I believe is the 1 minute goal line. He's got going in here from 9:45 to 10:10, and then ending at 11. So my thinking is that trade's only going to happen during that time, and then where the 5 minute gold line has got a different time, which is 9:45 to 3. One thing I'm thinking now is I'm wondering if this is possibly New York time that he's got it set to. So maybe I got to adjust this to 8:45 because I doesn't look like this is actually going to take a trade based on that number. And then the last one is, what do we got here? 5 minute red line. And that one looks like it's going from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. So you've got your daily target of $1,000, your daily loss of minus $300. Max trades per day is 5. After 3 losses, or I'm sorry, after 3 wins, it stops, and after 3 losses, the system will shut down for the day. So it does have some pretty good risk aversion stuff here. I'm actually going to change the setup here. Hope I'm not going to screw anything up, but oh well. It's a sim. I'm not really too worried about that. I don't know why, but I believe that this should have been set to 8:45 for my 8:45. And I would think this one should be set to 8:45. And this one, I will, I guess, set it to 10 o'clock. So again, these are some things that, I probably shouldn't be having to do this. It'd be nice if I would have known this from the get-go. But he's got a lot on his plate right now, so I'm sure he's going to be developing some good videos and stuff like that. But I was able to install everything myself, get it all working myself, and let's see what happens here. So I just loaded it. I'm going to probably have to change these now to, it wouldn't have taken any type of trade, so it's not like I missed out here, at least not on the Russell or the NASDAQ. Oil looks like it might, no, I don't think that there's the spacing that he's always looking for. So let me go into the strategy times of the Russell. I'm going to take this out. Let's disable it for a second. You can see that this is trading my Top Step prop account, like I mentioned. Eval, so it's not a funded account. So let's change this to 10. Mid-close time. I don't know what the heck all this crap is, but oh shit. Okay. Well, it froze there for a second. I got a little worried, but it was because this side over here was loading. So it is pretty intense of a system. 8:45. And let's put this one at 8:45. And this one, we'll set it to 10. All right, I think those settings are good. Let's enable it. All right, so I guess it wouldn't have taken a trade anyways because would have set to start at 8:45, and it's 8:37 currently here Central Time. So I'll let this load, and then after that I will, okay, then let me change here the oil. So again, I hope I'm doing this right. Hopefully, who knows? Maybe he even sees the video and maybe will correct me and tell me that, hey, no, these things, I want this thing to start at 9:45 your time. An hour and 15 minutes after you're open. But to me, it doesn't make any sense. I think that it would be, you would want this to start 15 minutes after the open. So he always talks about letting the crazy volatility from the morning open kind of settle down, which I'm okay with. This one's also prop account, top step. Let's enable it. And we'll let this sucker load. And once it loads, we will see what happens here. And again, for those of you that are looking, I've been trading, Robert Anderson's gold line strategy probably 7 months. I don't know, maybe 7 or 8 months. And the system works. The one thing that I had always noticed was, and this is kind of part of my evolution as a trader, is his system does rely on you looking at charts. I don't want to say all day, but for a really good amount of time. And, as some of you, will know, I've got a full-time job. I'm an owner at a RE/MAX office here in Chicago. I am a top producing real estate agent here. So I've got a pretty busy day. So I don't have all day to be looking at the charts. And with his system, you'll get some great setups, but you got to be on the chart. So when he came out and was telling me that he was telling his channel that he was working on an auto trader that was going to start taking trades based on his strategy, automatically all day, I'm like, dude, I'm all in, because I know that the strategy, it works, and it works pretty damn well. I've been kind of curious here to when this thing starts, what it takes, and look at it. It's got a whole bunch of colors, and and again, I'm gonna do a video kind of explain all these things that you're seeing. The balls here are some swing points that he is a big fan of, or pivots, and he's got the red line. He's got a 5-minute gold line. He's got a 1-minute gold line. So his strategy is pretty simple. He's waiting for price to pierce one of these EMAs in a pullback. And what he's looking is if there's enough space for you to be able to get, let's just say 5 points or 10 points, relatively smooth, he considers that to be a really good setup. And it does work. It works really good in trending markets with the 1-minute gold line strategy, because you'll start to see, it'll touch the EMA and it'll just keep going up. So he's able to capture those type of trades. If you get a bigger pullback into like a red line EMA, he will, usually you'll see a much bigger move. And the system has some, it does follow his strategy really well, which is something that I didn't think was going to happen so soon. Like, I thought he would probably have to do a few versions of this, and I'm sure he will. But this looks really close to what he has been teaching his channel for the last year or so. So I commend him on that. You know, he worked his ass off to get this thing done, and I think it's a pretty good representation of, you know, what I think he wanted out of the system. So yeah, that's it. So it's 8:42. I'm assuming that based on the criteria that I just changed it to, it's probably the system will be active in about 2 minutes, 2 or 3 minutes. And then we'll see if it takes any trades. I guess my plan here is I'm going to leave this up, and I'll stay with you guys probably for the next like 15, 20 minutes. And then after that, I'm going to leave these up, and I'm going to leave these up probably until about noon. And at that point, probably cut it off, and I'll see if I'll probably put the whole video up on it, and then maybe do an edit on some of the actual trades, so you're not just sitting at a screen. But I knew that there's a lot of people, especially on this channel, that are thinking about purchasing the indicator or the trading bot, which I got the bot, which is $350 a month. So I know there was a lot of people that, you know, have been wanting to do it. There's, you know, I haven't seen him trade the system live. Well, not like this is live. This is going to be recorded. I was thinking about doing a stream on it today, but you know, this is as good as that. So I just to kind of show you guys exactly what's kind of going on here, and for you guys to kind of be able to see the system does work, and it is taking trades. Now, he did come out with a video yesterday that apparently he had some kind of mix up on the templates of the strategy, meaning like where the stop loss is, what take profit. I'm assuming maybe something to do with the trailing stops are in that strategy. He said the one that was sent out was not right. I loaded the one he sent. To me, it looks right, but at the same time, he's the creator, so if he's saying that it's not right. So, you know, again, I probably shouldn't be trading these two sides. I shouldn't be trading the oil or the RTY with real, not real money, but even with my prop eval. But I figured, why not? Let's have some fun with the system and see what it can do. And again, max risk on RTY is $300. Max risk on oil is $300. You could lower that. You can make it $100, $200. I mean, you could even go down to the micros, which is, honestly, I was contemplating the micros. But if I go to the micros, that's going to be definitely on my cash account. But that would be probably after a week of seeing what this system is actually going to be doing. Majority of, you know, if you've watched my other video, you'll know that I have, for the last 3 years, I have traded pretty much just with a cash account. I started with a cash account, and I really like trading with cash account just because I feel like the money that I make is just like right there to take it. Again, on the flip side, the money you lose is it's your money that's just gone. And sure, shit, I've had a lot of losses in the first 2 years of trading, so that kind of sucked. But at the same time, I never really got into the prop firms. I had heard of Apex, which is one that Robert Anderson is affiliate of, and I signed up with Top Step, I think through maybe Patrick Wheeling's site or Trades by Matt, I can't remember who. But one of those two, I went through their affiliate link through Top Step. I've been trading Top Step for maybe about 4 months. And it's a great firm. Shit, I might even do an affiliate link and put it in the descriptions, you know, lower. But at this point, I just want to get this channel out and, you know, start kind of showing people what I'm doing. My main goal here is, as I mentioned in my intro video, I have been doing this 3 years. First 2.5 years were rough, but it still didn't matter. I was hooked on this. I love looking at charts. I love looking at what what's going on in the markets every day and trying to figure a way not to beat it, but to at least be able to work with it. It's just kind of a small side hustle for me, and it's mainly not even a side hustle. It's mainly to hopefully prepare for the eventual reality of retirement 10 to 15 years down the road. I would love to have something like this where you can make, even if you're making $100 to $200 in retirement, that might save you from having a small part-time job. And I'd rather trade this, for an hour or 2 hours in the morning than doing that. So that's my love for trading. I don't know why I got into the futures market. My brother-in-law got me into trading, but he trades equities. He's a day trader. And I just started with futures, some video I was watching on YouTube, and I got hooked on it. And it's hard. I mean, don't get me wrong, this shit is hard, man. But these last 6 months, as I mentioned in my other video, I feel like the market has slowed down for me in a way where I'm being more patient. I'm seeing moves better, and the one thing that I can tell you that has really changed my my trading has been systems. I'm starting to become a much more technical trader instead of a discretionary trader. So I'm not looking at charts and making trades anymore. I'm looking for setups. I'm looking for setups. That's what I'm mainly out there, And if my setup appears, I'm taking the trade. And I know what my risk is. I know what my reward is on that risk, and I'm willing to take those trades. And since I've changed that mindset, which has simplified things for me, I have become a lot more profitable. I believe majority of strategies out there work. It's just, and I'll be the first one to say it, it looks like the RTY. So here we go. Here's an example. Price pulled back to a gold line EMA, which is, I believe, the 1 minute. And so once it pierces it, an order is opened up. Granted, not a lot of room up here, so maybe this is some kind of setting with the Russell. We'll see. But what this is going to be waiting to do is this is going to be waiting for it to pierce the high of this next candle. And you'll start to see if it sets up, this will come down and trigger a trade. But we'll see if if it closes, once the entire candle closes under the EMA, it invalidates the trade. So we'll see here what happens pretty soon. But yeah, as I was mentioning, so you can see
order submitted.
We are in a trade. So here's your stop loss. And here's your take profit or your target. So this is all set up automatically with the system. Let's see if I can open this up. There we go. And for those of you that know his system, you'll understand what you're kind of looking at here. I like the target here. I mean, it's a nice target that we're going to go in there for. So let's see what happens here. But yeah, as I was explaining, I've become a much more technical trader, and I've got an oil trade that I take almost every morning. I take 2 oil trades in the morning, and those are very systematic trades.
Order canceled.
Very technical.
Order canceled.
So you can see that you got a huge reverse and knocked me out. So this one was a loss. Let's see. Usually there's a box that pops up with the results of the trade. I don't see it here. So normally there's a box that comes up that shows you kind of the result of that trade, but I don't see it. Maybe it'll pop up here shortly. We'll see. But that one was a loss. It was in profit, and just whipsawed down. So yeah, that was a tough one. But that's what happens sometimes. Um, yeah, so as I was explaining, the system. Oh, here we go. So yeah, so here's the. It'll give you like a breakdown of the trade, which I think is kind of cool. So this trade lost 11 ticks and looks like it lost $55. It'll tell you trade one. Now the system, the way I have it's actually, I should say the default setting is you take 3 losses in a day and it'll stop trading automatically. Or you lose $300 in one of those trades and it'll stop automatically. So there is some built-in safeguards on your account, which I like. Um, I believe that nice. At least on my, I was taking a Nasdaq trade on that drop, and that worked. So positive there, which is great. I got that on another screen, and that'll be for another video for another day. Today I kind of wanted to focus on the new Autobot, the gold mine strategy. And I guess we will continue to see here if we do get any setups. So I was right. The 8:45 was like kind of the activation. The default was set to 9:45. So I'm assuming that was New York time, and I probably should go in and change all of those times and adjust it for Central. I'm not gonna do it right now because it's just gonna knock the strategy off and takes a little bit of time to load. So I'll probably do that for the other videos. And let me know, guys, if you. Hopefully you like this video. Hopefully you like this. What I'm. Hopefully what I'm going to be able to teach you guys. And in the comments below, let me know if you'd like me to stream this system out, or the recordings are good. Obviously, I think editing a few of them to just shorten it to actual what it takes to trade. But even this is really cool just to look at, because if you guys know his system, man, it follows it pretty damn good, And is every system going to be profitable and make us money? No, obviously not. But I think over the long term, this will. I think it'll be profitable. I know when I take the trades manually, I've got a pretty good win rate with it. And the nice thing is that your losses are not that strong. I mean, he does have a really good risk to reward ratio on his trades. So I could tell you from that standpoint that I think that's a positive thing. So I'm gonna keep this thing going here. And if I find something interesting, I'll come back on, but I'm going to let this kind of run, and you guys can kind of see where it goes from here.
Order submitted. Order canceled.
All right, so I just wanted to come on real quick and show you guys that on the Nasdaq, it did hit one of the setups. So you had one of the candle bars here, obviously pierced the this is the 5-minute goal line, and once it pierced it, automatically opened up a short trade setup, but it stays down here because it's kind of waiting for the system, for the setup to work. And then you'll notice that this bar, the next bar, closed above that line. So once that bar has crossed the EMA and closed over the EMA, it will automatically cancel that trade, which is something that Robert Anderson obviously teaches in his as part of his strategy. So that does follow it really nicely. So that is, I think that's a really nice feature of the system. So I'll keep this thing playing here, and I'll come on with some commentary if I see the system, taking any type of setups.
Order filled. Order filled. Order submitted.
All right, so looks like the Nasdaq just had a pullback into the 1 minute gold line, so it automatically opened up an order to buy to go long. So let's see if this stays in. If the bar stays piercing, which it did, I believe that's why it turns black, meaning that it's still valid. The order still stays up there. So the only problem is if it closes under the 1 minute gold line, then this will cancel out. So that's pretty cool. I haven't seen any setups on the RTY or oil, but that might just be. That might be. Yeah, no setups there. And then oil. I don't think my oil. For some reason, oil is not showing up on this on my chart today. So I don't know what's wrong with the oil on Ninja today, but
Order canceled.
so order got canceled here on the Nasdaq. Looks like we closed underneath that EMA, so it invalidates that trade setup. Now, if we can get down to either the 1 minute red line or the 5 minute red line, which is the trade I really like taking, we'll see if another trade sets up there. In the meantime, let me figure out what's going on with oil. All right, so I changed this chart over here on the left to the ES. I don't know why my oil wasn't it wasn't charting, so there was some type of issue there. I know oil's not with the CME; it's with NYMEX, I believe it's called. So I'm not sure. I got to look into that. What's going on there? I actually tried taking an oil trade, and I was having an issue with it. on one of my other screens. So there's definitely an issue there. Not that there's an issue here with Robert Anderson's Autobot. This is just something to do with Ninja right at the moment. So you can see that I switched the symbol to the S&P, the ES. It does take a while for the strategy to load. But let's see if, that will give us maybe some opportunities here, which obviously oil wasn't giving us an opportunity because it wasn't even freaking registering. So that was dumb. But hey, those are the things that you learn. One positive thing is that my oil setup would have worked this morning from my 9 to 10 session on 2 different trades, and couldn't get either one of them because I couldn't get a
Order
trade in.
submitted.
So, all right, ES just loaded up and it just popped into a trade. That trade was setting up. You can see here it had, you got to pump up and you got to pull back down to the EMAs. So looks like we'll get some action here. Looks like it would have took a trade at about 9:09 this morning, which would have lost. It would have lost 7 ticks, so $87 on one ES contract. So the ES, as you guys know, moves $50 a point, or $12.50 per tick. The ES has been a tough instrument, to trade, and I think that's why you see a lot of the popular YouTubers that a lot of them have switched to the Nasdaq. A lot of them are looking at oil, so there's some volatility there. But it looks like we might get a trade here on the ES, so that'll be kind of
Order
nice.
submitted.
There we go. So we're in. The ES has got a stop loss, it looks like, of 2.5 points. 2.5 points. So we're risking $125. Currently, we are green. That's a nice little pump up there. And let's see how the system reacts to this trade. Very interesting. We're up almost $100. There you go. That's 100. Yeah. So it just looks like it took me to break even plus a tick. Let's go. So we're up $200 here. Up 200. So I was looking to try to get. Got it right to the tick there. Well, that kind of sucked. Hit target right to the tick, but didn't get me out of that trade. I do like this target though. I mean, you're targeting, this high right here. To me, it looked like a great trade, but again, just didn't get filled on that to that tick, which kind of sucks, but that's okay. And I do like this showing currency instead of points. So let me see if I can change that here.
Order canceled.
All right. Look at that. We got our first positive trade with Robert Anderson's Autobot. Let's go. Round of applause. Let's go. Nicely done, system. Nicely done. So I believe that was a $250 profit on my Top Step account, eval account. So hey, and then here in a little bit we'll see a that was a good little switch there from oil to to the ES, man. Damn, that was right in the nick of time. It's funny how sometimes trades work in your favor and then work 100% against your favor, which is pretty funny. Um, all right, so let's look at the stats here. Now you got to take this with a grain of salt. So we just added the ES, so I didn't actually take that first trade down here for a loss. I came in, man, right as the order was being placed, which was pretty cool. So that trade profited $250, which was 5 points on the ES. And that was based off of a 5-minute red line. I hope this is a 5-minute red line. I'm assuming that a 1-minute red line. This is the 5-minute red line. And if I'm wrong, I'll correct myself in a video somewhere, but that's what it is. And then what it's doing is it'll also give you a daily profit and loss, and this is just on this strategy. So this is separate from this chart here. This is on the same strategy, but with its own risk to reward. So 300 max loss to 1,000 take profit, or 3 losing trades or 3 winning trades, the system will shut off. So these are independent from each other. So you take the loss that the first trade had, which I didn't incur, but it would have been a loss of $88. And you take your positive 250, so it's giving you a daily P&L of 162, and I think that puts it in ticks as well. So ES today would have been profitable. Granted, there's still some time left here before noon, which is how far I am going to go out. Not sure why this is not, man. And then let me make sure that this one, yep, we're good there. So that was a good example of a winning trade, which is pretty cool. I'm not sure why this is showing a target here and a target here. I'm not understanding that. It's almost looking like there was 2 entries, but there wasn't. There was just one. So not sure why that's being duplicated. This is one contract. I hope. Let me take a look. No, it is, because I saw my P&L and it was 250. So okay. Not sure why there's these labels up here. I see this label. I understand that. That's where I took the trade. But I'm not sure why this is here. Maybe. Oh. Is this no? No, that's the same target here. I was wondering maybe if this is like what the next setup would be, as if it hits here. Not sure, but we'll see what happens with that label there. But hey, that was pretty cool. Got to see the system in action. Got to see the system take a trade. You could see how the system set up the stop loss. So the stop loss, once you got into profit by a certain amount of ticks, I have to go back into the strategies to say exactly how many that is. It took the stop loss and put it to break even plus a tick. So that tick could be, covering commissions, which is a nice thing. But the one thing I gotta say is you almost need to maybe give your trades a little bit more space. So he does talk about that. Granted, it worked here, fantastic, and I know that he's trying to keep the risk as low as he can. So he is willing to do a lot of break-evens or very small losses. But obviously, the market, I would say, I don't know, even last year and a half, you're seeing big moves, but on like certain days, news days, red news days, you see on a lot of like just chop. And in chop, the system will save you from some bigger losses, but it also might not give you enough space for that expansion that you need to hit some of these targets. But again, we'll see. This is, it's
Order submitted.
we got another trade. It looks like here that's setting up, and this one is setting up on the RTY. So let's make this so we can see it a little bit easier. There we go. And again, we came up, created a pivot here, and we pierced into the 1 and 5 minute gold and red line. So if the price action comes up over this candle open, a candle high, it will activate this trade, and then this will keep trailing it to the next candle as long as this still stays relevant or activated, I should say. But hey, man, this would be pretty cool if we got to see a RTY trade in action as well. If this happens, if we get this trade here, win or loss, I might just cut the video here because we're going on, I think, an hour. Let's see. Yeah, so we've been going at this for an hour and 15 minutes. And I did say I was going to stay till 12 o'clock. But, well, it's funny because the NQ, that looks like it should have triggered something here. But again, there might have been some kind of rule built in where there wasn't enough space, but it kind of seems to me like that would have been a trade to take here. But again, I don't know. Keep an eye on this. Oh yeah, so right there it even tells you 1G, so that's the 1 minute gold line. So it does give you the label of where it's activating to. Did come down now to the 5 minute gold. I'm sorry, the 1 minute red line. Sorry, it's a little confusing because he's got 4 of them on here. And it's got to come back up. Do like this setup a little bit more than the previous one, just because now I think we've got a little bit more space that we're looking for.
Order submitted.
And there we go. We're in this trade, guys. Let's go. Let's go, RTY. Now, RTY has got, let's see if this setting is different. It looks like it's only a 1 point. Yeah, looks like it's a 1 point stop. Yes, it is. And we're trying to target here 2 points. So 1 point stop, 2 points on the take profit. I shouldn't say points, dollars on this one, on the RTY. Let's see what happens here. Let's see what happens here. All right, so far we're at $6.55, 45, $50 of profit. Let's see it pierce. Let's see it pierce. Pierce it. Let's go. So it already took me. Took the trade to even +1. So it's a risk-free trade at this point. You know, it could snap back down and take me out, but there is some good risk. There's some good risk aversion built into the system, which I like. And over here on the NASDAQ, I'm not sure why the heck that didn't take that trade. To me, seems like a trade that it should have taken. But who knows? This looks like it might stop me out here on this little pullback. Be nice to get some extension here. Be nice to take 2 positive trades, man, back to back. That would be great for the program, for the channel. Let's go. Come on, there's still hope. There's still hope. Oh, hope is fading. Hope is fading. Let's go. This is fun though, man. I mean, it's kind of weird because it takes away like your trading, you know. I mean, it does take the trading away from you. So there is that aspect that I do like to find, my setups and
Order
trading.
canceled.
But so let's just see. This is a great example here. We were targeting this region right here. Now, granted, we came out pretty much break even. We did come out break even. I think it was plus a tick, but I don't know. Maybe with slippage. This thing says here trade 2 is 0. So again, real quick to go to stop loss to break even. We had a pretty strong rejection here. And, obviously if we keep dropping, it would have saved us from some money, which looks like it would have hit our stop loss there. No, I think by a tick it would have been. Yeah, we would have been okay by a tick. But, there you go. So yeah, that would have knocked us out no matter what. So again, the system saved us $50 there. His stop loss strategy did save us $50 in that scenario. Was this too big of a target? I don't think so. I think I really liked where the profit target was at. I think the profit target was right around here. So it's finding the right. Not that it's finding the right targets because they're predefined, but I like where the targets are fitting on the price action. So that part I like. Now on the NASDAQ side, again, here's why it didn't. So it looked like it. Well, it didn't. I don't remember it setting up a trade here. I don't think it did. And would have disqualified, I guess, here. And we would have lost, regardless if it would have taken it in. That snapback right there would have just knocked you out. So, I mean, the system does save you from a bunch of those issues, which we all find. But yeah, that's the system, guys. I mean, I don't know. Should I keep going? I don't know if anybody's even gonna watch this, or I'm hoping that they will. But I know I said I was gonna go to 12. I think for right now we've seen what the system I think can do. My plan is for the channel is to start showing you guys some of my strategies and some of my setups that I take pretty much every morning. And I think that you'll find them pretty damn simple. But at the same time, I think they're very useful. They're profitable. I've been backtesting the shit out of them, and they work. So I'll share some of those. I got a great one in oil, got one in natural gas that I do, and then I've got one in the NQ that I do every morning that I hit this morning for $250 positive in my cash account. Yeah, baby, cha-ching. So I do like that. And I will make some more videos on. I want to do a video on the setup of this system, because I know that there's going to be people with questions on how to even get this thing loaded if they do end up purchasing it. So I'd like to do a video on that. I'd also like to do a video on any updates that Anderson sends out on his strategy templates, which he did say that we would be getting. So if there is anything there, I'll load those into the system, and then I might even do some back tests on there to see, maybe with the new update or the new templates, if the strategy works a little bit better. And yeah, so I mean that's it, guys. I mean, this was a pretty. Let's see, for the prop account, I know I took I took this trade. So I took the trade in the morning on the RTY, and we lost. So we lost 55 bucks. I know I took this one on because this is on Top Step, and this is on the eval, and on the same eval account over here, I took the ES, which was a lucky ass trade because I was literally on oil, and oil wasn't loading right. I was actually sitting here like an idiot for an hour without even doing much. But so I switched it over to the ES, and it was literally into a setup. It was into like a really nice setup right here where it got into the pierce the EMAs, and we had rode this wave up right here. So that was a $250 profit. So for the day on that eval account, I am up $195. And so I'm super happy about that. Again, my cash account today is positive 250, and that was a NASDAQ short at 5 minutes after the open. So I'll explain to you guys those trades that I take. The oil trade that I took that was also, it would have been very profitable this morning, but I couldn't get into it. Had an issue with my oil for today. I don't know why. So that's it, guys. If you like what you guys are seeing, I know today was kind of maybe a more of a demonstrational video on the new system that Robert Anderson put out, his gold line trade. But if you like the content, you want to see more, subscribe to the channel, comment below. Give me good feedback, guys. I know there's going to be mistakes, and there's going to like the oil thing here on the left-hand side. But you know what? Maybe if that mistake wasn't there, I would have never switched over to the S&P, and I wouldn't have made 250 bucks. So that's the way the world works sometimes. But I'm excited. I like talking through my trades in my morning. I think it's going to keep me even maybe more accountable to my own trading style. And let's have some fun with this. All right, take care, guys.